I'm the engineer. Good to have you on this channel. So, I just want to discuss a project and a project which I did with a couple of colleagues 6 months ago, and we're like called Team Ignite. I don't know how we came up with that name. I think I did. Can't remember. So, basically it was for DataFestAfrica, and yeah, we didn't do well. I won't explain the reason why, but we tried our best. Yeah. Okay, let's get right to it. So basically, the idea was to predict the academic outcomes of students in secondary schools. So where the goal was to predict how will they perform in external examinations like WAEC and JAM. So for that, we needed to have the school data, and due to the nature of the hackathon, we didn't really have the data we needed, so we had to generate data from the scratch. I'm going to talk about that, but let's just go straight to the how the analytics look like predicting student outcomes. So basically, we'll go to the dashboard. The main dashboard is just informations about students, age group, the clubs, the subject struggle. You see that most students struggle with biology. Biology is that subject, right? Really. So you can just like go which course they struggle with in SS1, same courses, SS2. You can see is accounting, SS3, they struggle with biology. The people that are going to write the exam are struggling with biology. So these are like the ways we look at the data. And it's possible to have it in and above in your secondary school. I've seen that a lot. So that's not so based on states, the most students came from Oyo, Ogun, and Lagos states, and the most classes were the science students had more students there, and the commercial and the art class. So and we looked at the parents' income level, and the parent income level for these students were middle class. So the middle class really are the bulk of the school. So it's a unity school kind of vibe. When I mean unity school, it's a federal government unity school. I went to a federal government unity school, so basically I just modeled something I went. The type of school I went to for the whole datathon, I had to do something I was familiar with. So if I move to the historical result analysis, which is this, so we can see the result of students. We can see um average current score for by bottom 10 students. We can see students that are not performing well. If we want to do it by class and want to do it by subject, we can do that. So if we want to do it by class, okay, for SS1 students in art class, let's see how they are performing. Let's say the students that are, so basically you can see how students are performing in this category, and then let's see, okay, how are students performing in, let's say, English, which is an important, okay, this is the average current score. This is how students are performing. Student with the ID 877C is just having 71.68, right? SS1. So our main focus is those in SS3. So we have like our data moving in this direction. So this is how we look at all our data. Yes, and our insights, basically the insight of all the data we did. Um, is here. So not to dwell much on this and move straight to maybe the analytics we did. We have the average YX score, the average JAM score. This was a different scenario. I'm going to explain that. So based on the historical demographic details of students, we have like females, the parents' incomes, the class prefect. Are you a class prefect? Study hours. So it's a boarding school. So in boarding school, they have time for them, time for studying, right? How much they understand. So these are like the information teachers can have in on the understanding level of a course of a subject, the clubs they are in. So and the discipline, the struggle scale, the class enjoyment, the average historical score. So these are like the informations we like to look at. So let's jump straight to the whole how we came about this. So I worked as a data engineer for this project, and my friend Femi acted as data analyst, and Moturaya was the data scientist. for this project. So it was just a full circle data rule kind of hackathon. So it's just for DataFestAfrica. I've explained that already. So let me jump straight to how I started the project. So basically, was you have to understand how we are going to generate this data. The data generation was like the main thing for us. So how to think about that, I was modeling. I had to model how this would look like generally. I give the idea in my deliverables, which is you can find here. The outcome of the data. So in my deliverables, you find something like the data architecture of the whole thing. We get data from the school website, the school data store, the school past student final exam record. So by this I mean for those who have passed out of the school, their results, they are like historical results in JAMB and WAEC. The school data stores any information the school has on the student results about the school and information from the school website. We extract that data, then we transform it with Python. We load it on our Postgres database, and then we transform with DBT and we push that to our analytics, our visualization, which is Power BI. We didn't really use DBT due to time for the project, but it was really gonna. It was basically to solve some other metrics problem we were going to do in terms of student, and we did some ML, whereby the ML project was to report students that are at risk of failing, right? So that the teachers can help those students. So yes, that was like the idea towards this project. So um, let's go to the nitty-gritty of how did I come about this? How did I come about doing this? So the whole architecture is currently like this. So we have the current students. I don't know if you can see this. So the current students, we have this information about the correct students here. So I had to like get current generates data related to current students, generate data about their subjects, the courses they do, the class grade and the subject they do, and the profession, aspiring profession, their results. We have the information about their results. We have more info about them. This is basically their attendance rate, their study hours, their struggle scale, how much they enjoy class and how much they understand the courses they are doing. Then we have the current students historical results. So their historical results from the for those in SS3, their historical results from SS2, SS1 to SS2, and for those in SS2, their historical results from SS1. And then we have another layer of data of the past students. So their previous WAEC results, right? The previous WAEC students, their WAEC results and their JAM results. So basically, the student ID joining with this, then with this. So it was basically something. It was the model we had to work with. This was the model I envisioned for the whole data warehouse for our data model. So basically this was like the school and student relationships here, which was basically what I was explaining earlier. Right, so let's just jump straight to how I went about that in terms of the technicalities. Uh yeah, just a simple um Docker file where we just load we have, don't worry, you can copy the data and the password and the data for your the password and the warehouse for your own consumption. It's a free, it's live on GitHub. So we have our init.sql. The init.sql is basically creating the tables we need for our project, the tables and the schema. And data asset is basically importing our data, the volumes of the data, so that we can currently, so if there is any change in data, we can, that means that we can instantly change it with our we can instantly change it with our analytics. So basically any change we make in our database, and our database is connected directly to our Power BI, there will be an automatic change. So basically we are connecting our Power BI with this port. It is a live connection, so it's a live kind of it's like an instantaneous kind of data analytics going on and reporting going on. So yeah. So data that's how about we did our Docker Compose. So it's just a simple Postgres data compose. So we have done a Docker file, but I needed to add volumes to make things easier. Cool. Uh yeah, data assets. So generating the data was the main thing. So generating data, I had to like use various techniques which we have discussed in the data model, the state of origin, aspiring profession. So I went about it in a way whereby I could just like generate the students, but generating students I had to like do some important things of how to make sure that the date of birth was like in a certain kind of form. The I had to make sure that for every from the profession they were aspiring to do, we could just pick their classes for them. That was like what I did here. And the state of origin, I make sure that most of the students came from this four states: Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, and Osho State. And random houses. So the houses are basically like the red house, the blue house, right? The green house, etc. And when I was in school, the red house was like Oduduwa, the blue house was like Jaja, purple was Macaulay, green was Danfodio, I guess. Yellow was Moremi. I can't remember brown, but brown was someone powerful. Let's believe that. So yeah, aspiring professions is basically like okay, people that are aspiring to be artists, they'll be in the art class. People that are aspiring to be economists in commercial class. So that was like the idea I went with that because I believe for people choosing where they want to be in SS1, they have to choose it based on the career they want to do. So that was like the idea of generating that data. And optional subjects basically means biology that okay, if you want to do pharmacy, a pharmaceutical, um, you're going in pharmacy line, do biology. If you want to be a scientist, do biology. If you want to be an engineer, you have to do further maths. So that was like the idea I went through that. So there was a way I created a function to generate those students. Um, just a simple function. Not I didn't really go hard on type int. No, it was a fast project, so I was not going I was not doing some type kind of game here. So just save the students, load it, then init.sql, right? The init.sql is basically us just doing it's just basically so this is where all the students our data is, this CSV files. So the generation of data is just basically this generate DB, this historical DB to generate the current student historical results, to generate the past students JAM results, which is what we have in this code here, and to generate the past students WAEC results, and the school info, which is basically what I generated here, right? And the student info also, which was what we have here. So ingestion is basically how I need the SQL where I created the schema, created the tables we needed, the student results, etc. And I just copied what we had on our CSV file directly. So immediately we copy, it's going straight and direct. So there was no form of transformation really did. So it's just basically an extra load transform kind of project. Extract from our CSV, extract the CSV from different sources, extract CSV, the CSV coming from these different sources, then straight to our Postgres DB, then from Postgres DB to the analysis where they will just do the analysis they wanted. That's why I wanted to use DBT so that to create specific analysis and metrics for some certain things, but I didn't achieve that at that point, and I'm not going to do that. So the machine learning was basically to predict students that were at risk of failing jump. That made students necessary so that we could help them in like their this thing. So how did I come about this? So this is done in a way whereby using their past results, predicting with their past results, then using their past results. So taking those four courses. So we have four courses, right? English, maths, um, English, maths, government, ICT, depending on your discipline. The discipline being art, science, and commercial. So depending on your discipline, you can just choose that. Okay, I want to I want to go about it this way, right? Performance, like I want to go about it. So based on the discipline, we have get the jam results, right? Then from this from that from the from modifying it, we just do some random forests to predict how they are going to perform then. So that was basically the idea towards this project. So I don't want to go into much in ML because I'm not into ML. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I'm not into ML like that. I do ML, but yeah. So this PDF report created successfully. So this is how it runs concurrently to just do it. So yes, I hope that was a simple explanation of what we did in our hackathon. So the fun one, and expect more cool videos whereby I do a step by step run through of how I'm working on a project. Whereby I'm going to work on a project. The next one I'm going to work on a Nike e-commerce attribution project. So stay tuned for that. Bye, guys.